Tell me something. Have y'all ever felt like I'm just done? This is too much and I am done. If this is you and you can relate, sit with me for a while, y'all, and hear my story in regards to this and my brain injury. Welcome to my channel. I am Astra, and this is Astra's Brain Injury. And thank you. And while I'm thanking you, I thank you for subscribing. If you've already subscribed, thank you. And if you haven't, I'm looking forward to you subscribing. So, y'all, as we know, well, if you haven't known and this is your first time, I'm going to let you know my brain injury began back in 2014 when I was in a catastrophic MBA, MBA. And so this is where my life changed, y'all. And trust me, this was not something that I signed up for. I was not like, ooh, I want me a brain injury. No. Because my life was, work, my family, and spending time and doing different things. My life changed. The script flipped. And that was it. And so what happened is I had to learn how to walk, how to talk, how to do all of these different things. And trust me, y'all, it was daunting. It was overloading and overwhelming for me. When I'm thinking, I knew how to walk. You got your sachet as a woman and you walk. Disappeared. I knew how to talk and I'm an excellent communicator, and that went out the door. And when I'm seeing struggles of, I've got to get someone to bathe me, to dress me, lotion my skin, undress me. I can't just get up independently and do the things that I am used to doing. And when I think of all of these different, can I say the hurdles? Like, I had to go all over these different, it's not even bumps. It's like I had to, leap over this huge, I don't know what to describe it as, but it's not even just like a little bump in the road for me, because, you have a little bump and you get a little bump in the bump and then you go back straight. This was not going back straight for me. And so I was like, many times I thought, oh my Lord, this is way too much for me. It's too much. And when I'm thinking of all of the treatments that I had to be going, because I was going through 3 to 7 appointments a day, Monday to Friday. This was my job. And, I used to say that this was my job because I had a regular job, 7 to 4 in the morning. Monday to Thursday, Friday I did, it was half days for us because that's how it was. That's how I signed up for my work. So, I don't even need to go into the logistics of everything, but that was my job. They say you have your 9 to 5. So this is what I had. And that stopped. But my treatments replaced my job. Here am I thinking, this is too much, because I felt like my life was not my own. My life belonged to my practitioners and my treatments, because that's where I was going. I was on a regular. They might as well have been part of my family because I was seeing them so much. And when I'm thinking again, this is way too much. This is too much. Having to go to 3 to 7 appointments every day, 5 days a week, it was too much. When I'm thinking I can't even put on my shoes, it was too much. When my baby is going to be trying to help me put on my shoes because I could not put on my shoes. And so when I'm looking at all of these different challenges, it's not to say, that you've got one set of challenge. I had a multiple set of challenges, y'all. Like multiple sets of challenges. And when I'm thinking about these things, it was so much for me. Like this wasn't just a small scale. This was a grand scale for me. And this was something I have never been through in my life. I have never had to, have somebody do these different things for me, seeing practitioners 3 to 7 times in a day, Monday to Friday, and keep going and going and going. I've never experienced that kind of thing before in my life. And when my brain injury began, and when I started going to my different practitioners, and one will send you to here, to there, and everywhere, and from everywhere you're going somewhere else, and from somewhere else you come over to this way, and it's just like I felt like I was going all over the city. Really, we went all over the city, and I couldn't even drive. And that was another thing. I could not even drive. Why? Because I could not even turn my head. I'm thinking that when my physiotherapist is like, okay, Astra, let's see how far you can turn your head. And I'm going from here to here. Like, that's nothing. And I'm thinking I went from here and spin my head around and come back. That's how I felt. And it was just all of these little things just helped to pile up and pile up and pile up and pile up and pile up. And I'm like, I can't even see above. I can't even bend my head to see below. Like I was just in a place of, I'm just done. I feel like I'm just done. I felt like I was just done. And to top it off with all of that, I feel like I am just done. I have to deal with, as I said, all of the practitioners, all of my treatments, my home life, my work life, because I was wanting to go back to work, and I could be looking for work, but work was like, sorry, girl, you ain't coming back nowhere. Well, they didn't even know that. But, in my mind, I was thinking that when I'm doing all of these treatments 3 to 7 days, 3 to 7 times in a day, I'm thinking, okay, the more I can do, the faster I'll get to the end of the line, and I'll be able to return back to where I once was. No, ma'am. It was a no, sir, right there. That was not happening because of how everything was working for me with this brain injury. I don't know if y'all have ever felt this way, that you feel like you're just done or it's too much, or I didn't sign up for this, because honestly, this is how I felt. I felt like I didn't sign up for this. I did not go and, say, oh, hi, brain injury. Would you like to come on over and let's be friends? No, I did not. But it came unannounced to me. And here I am, where I'm talking to y'all in regards to my brain injury. So, trust me, I have been there. I've been there where I feel like I did not sign up for this. And I was done. Like I was done. And the thing about this is, even though you may feel like you're done, you don't want to remain where you are, like right here, all crumpled up in the corner. You want to be able to, because I craved for this, and I use the word crave a lot. I'm sure y'all going to hear me say I crave, because honestly, I longed for Astra. I longed for who I once was. There is, the echoes of me. I'm not flip the script and I'm, completely somebody else. But my brain injury has taken a huge part of who I am now, in the sense of how I think is different. Things that I used to love, I can't love them anymore. I have to love them from afar, kind of a thing. Like, for instance, I used to love going to the movies. Can't do it. I am sound, light sensitive, so I wouldn't be able to handle it. I'm very, very light and sound sensitive. Very. Before, in my home, I used to be wearing shades continuously. There's some times where I might put it on when it's too much for me, or I'll just dim, the blinds so as to help me. But even though, as I said, I was like, I'm done. No, I wasn't. Because I wanted a semblance of who I once was. Let me know if that's something that resonates with you. Have you felt like this? Like, you're just like, I'm done. I don't want to do no more. Because, you get exhausted from doing treatments, like all this amount of treatments. You get exhausted because, think about it. I'm doing what? 15 to 35 treatments a week. That's exhausting. And so when you think of all of these different things, that's a cumulative of, all of the different things that you were independent and was able to do, and now you can't do, or you need help, assistance to be able to do it. It becomes a lot. You feel like your independence has been snatched. Well, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I felt like my independence, who I was just snatched away. And like I said, I felt like I was done, y'all. I felt like, I can't do this no more. No, I don't want to do this no more. I really do not want to do this anymore. This brain injury needs to be done. That's how I felt. It needs to be done. But this brain injury is like, whatever, woman. You may feel you want it to be done, but I am right here and I ain't going nowhere. So how you going to handle that? This is how it was for me. So even though, I can laugh about it now, and, I can do a little play about it now. But back then for me, no, it was very frustrating. It's frustrating still today to some extent, but not like how it was back then, because it was more fresher, I guess, back then. Now it's a little more stale because, as I said, this is the 11th year. I'm in the 11th year. And when I first started this journey, it was, put it like this. It's like you get a cut, and oh my goodness, sweet Jesus. Oh, I need a Band-Aid and whatever you need. And then as the days go by and the healing is going on, it's getting better. Ooh, you can take off that Band-Aid now. Ooh, okay, I see you. It may look a little bumpy-ish, but it's getting better. And as it gets better now, you're no longer guarding that wound that you had. You're just like, okay, I can go about freely with however I'm doing whatever. You don't need to guard it. You don't need to baby it no more. You don't need to do none of that. Why? Because it has healed. But with the brain injury, it's not, it's similar. And well, it's not similar because, that first part you don't even realize, because I didn't realize. I'm sure I've told y'all where I'm talking, thinking I'm talking and making sense. And everybody's be like, what you talking about, Willis? You ain't even making no sense. And they're like, sweet Jesus. Okay. And that's it. And then, you get exhausted. Well, I got exhausted. And I'm like, okay, bye. And I'm gone. So it's, even though all of these things has taken place, even though I felt like I was done, like I am just done, guess what? I still kept persevering through. I still kept going, because when I'm looking this way, and as I told y'all, my youngest was young, and when I'm looking at my family and I'm thinking, oh my word, if I'm just all crumped up over there, what's gonna happen to me? And you've got to, it's not you, I had motivation, because I can't just continue harping on, I'm done. I didn't sign up for this, so it better be gone, because I'm going to close my eyes now and open them, and you better be gone. Like, I couldn't do that. I had to keep pushing through the I'm feeling of I'm done, because I wanted to see where I was going to be. I completely dislike this saying, but this saying is so true. You are closer, like every day. My grandmother used to say, you're closer to the end than when you first began. And so when I first began, that was the beginning. But every day that I have not survived, but every day that I've done something and I was able to overcome even a little bit, I'm now closer to the end than when I first began. And so, my mother kept ringing this in my ear. She would say, Astra, I know you don't like to hear it. And I'm like, yes, ma'am, so. And she would tell me, you're closer to the end than when you first began. So in any situation that was coming up, whether it was, I don't know, whatever, like not being able to drive right now, she would tell me, you're closer to the end than when you first began. And, I guess that was kind of like a little wake up for me of, okay, I know I didn't sign up for this. It just got shoved on me. I know that, this is the way my life is going to be. Sorry, y'all, I got a cold. This is the way my life is going to be. And this is the way, I'm going to have to learn how to maneuver in this maze called life for myself with this brain injury. Okay, I may not remember that I went down to the left and I had to turn right 3 steps down. I may not remember that, but I may remember, okay, I have to take 3 steps. I don't know where to, but even through all of these things, every day is a day closer to the end. So I'm closer to the end than when I first began. And so, with through all of this, even though part of me wanted to be, I'm done, whatever, a part of me was like, no, I gotta keep trying to persevere and push through to the very end. It's not easy, y'all. I can tell you that right now. It was not easy, because with the brain injury, every small thing seems like it's a huge thing. And what would have been like water on a duck's back, so to speak, it's not so. It seems like it is fire on a duck's back. And I'm like, not today. So in everything in life is a challenge. It was a huge challenge for me. Everything in my life when I first started was a huge challenge. Sorry. See, I still get tripped up even now. And this is 11 years, later. And so through all of this, your mindset, you gotta, as long as you have someone in your life that will help to tell you, no, girl, you can do it. You can do this. What do you want to do? Do you want to just give up? Is that what you want to do? And the answer is no, you don't want to give up. Because I did not want to give up. I wanted to get to the end. Like, I would say, I wish I was at the end. That's what I used to say too, that I wish I was at the end right now. And then I would know, oh, okay, but would I have had the experience that I had to go through to get to the end? No, I wouldn't, because I would just fast forward and I won't have it. But, it's not an easy thing. That's why I would tell y'all it's not easy. And I would be amiss to say, oh, yes, it was a walk in the park. No, it was not. It was not a walk in the park. And even now, today, it's better than what it was when I first began. And there's that saying, I really disliked it. I'm honest, y'all, I really disliked, you're closer to the end than when you first began. I really disliked it. But, even though I disliked it, it still gave me something that I can help me to keep going through, that I was not continuously like, I'm done. Never signed up for this. Don't want to do this. It helped me. So as long as you have someone that is going to be a positive, give you that positive reinforcement that you need in your life, so you can be like, oh, okay, I can keep going forward. Instead of sitting here just crumpled in the corner, I can keep going forward. And soon you won't be saying, well, you know what? I'm done. I feel like I'm done. I didn't sign up for this. And your mindset will begin to change. That's the next thing. So, let me know if this is something that has resonated with you. And while you're letting me know, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell. Y'all, it's a journey. This is still a journey. This is 11-year journey for me. I don't know what the length of journey y'all have been in. Let me know, let me know if you've ever had these feelings of, I'm just done. I never signed up for this. Let me know if you had these kind of things. Or if you are the caregiver that is, seen, they just they look like they don't have the strength, they don't have the will, the desire, they don't have the gumption, they don't got anything. They just keep saying, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done, and keep letting them know, you're closer to the end of your journey than when you first began this journey. And so, just that positive reinforcement is what is needed. So, with that, I shall take my leave now, and I will definitely see y'all in the next video. And with that, I will tell y'all bye.